And good evening, everybody. This is Rob Gearing here from the 2K Profit System, and I am honored to be presenting tonight and with my great friends, everybody that's assembled here live in Zoom, and all those that are watching on Facebook or will watch one day on Facebook. And I know there's some sharing going on right now, so that's cool. We totally allow that from our Facebook page. If you'd like to join us live in Zoom, just go to http://2kpstraining.com. Again, that's http://2kpstraining.com. And you can come right into the fray here and ask any question that you like. And, we'll take care of it for you. We will, if I can't answer it, I have a great panel here that would be able to do that without a problem. And for all my folks that are in Zoom, make sure that you have muted your microphones, first of all. And secondly, hit the chat button at the bottom of your screen that opens up the chat window, and that way you can ask a question in that format. So we're talking. Here we go. We have. I can't help but hit the button sometimes. Sorry, Vicky. I know my fingers just run away with themselves. Anyway, I'm not supposed to do that, Dale. That's the funny part. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. So we have a great topic for tonight. We want to talk to you about motivation, trading fear for forward motion, and growing yourself, or growing in general, through self-doubt. So that's a great topic. Vicky's going to cover it in detail in a couple minutes here. I just wanted to give my opening thoughts. I do want to talk about the 2K profit system in general. It is growing every day with new members, and the way we can tell is by our Facebook group, by our WoW chat, and just by the amount of business that's happening. Signups in TL2I, upgrades in TL2I, people reading cash mail in TL2I, people earning money in WoW app, people upgrading in Wealth Step by Step, and people moving forward into our Step 3 Genesis Legacy Vault product that's part of the 2K profit system. And I can tell you, look you in the eye and look the camera in the eye and say, all of those things happened since we last met. Just imagine that. All those things happen and then some, right? So we're checking all the boxes. Things are working great. And in addition to that, people are doing great setups with their lead capture pages. People are earning great bonuses. People are running great traffic, and the process is repeating and duplicating. So it's never going to stop unless we stop, right? And there's no reason for that. We have to stay away from the shiny objects. We have to stay focused, but we also have to stop the fear cycle. We have to stop the fear cycle and start moving forward. So what are people sometimes afraid of? Sometimes they're just afraid of joining the first program, the first step, TL2I, and they'll stop. You'd have to ask them why. I don't know. Now I know why sometimes people stop in step 2, because they don't want to pay the $29 a month. They don't see the value in. I should start counting how many ebooks are back there. I should start looking at how many consumer savings opportunities there are there. Folks, that'll pay for it right there. That'll pay for your wealth step by step if you allow it to, right? Be a product of the product. And then it's the power of 3, finding 3 people that can fill your first level and teaching them how to do the same, et cetera, et cetera. It's really that easy. And that program pays a very high amount, but you may have fear about spending $29. You've got to figure out a way to get over that. We've got to figure out a way to help you get over that, for sure. And we know that, larger upgrades can create more fear. But what we're really telling ourselves is, I don't believe in you, Rob. I don't believe in you. I'm speaking to myself as a person that's feeling that, the self-doubt. I don't believe in you. I don't believe you can do it. It's that bad voice. It's bad enough when somebody out there says something, but you can't have that voice yourself. You got to stop that. You got to be your best. You got to be your best friend, and you got to push through those doubts. Me and my daughter went golfing today, right before she took a little trip to Florida. She's actually heading to Jacksonville to spend some time with one of her friends for 9 days, because she got sick of hanging around mom and dad all the time this last few weeks and whatnot. So I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Who wants to hang around their parents for 3 months? But seriously, we were at the golf course. We went to a little par 3, and she was, I forget, I don't think she even started yet. She was hitting her practice swings, and she's like, oh, I'm going to have a bad round today. And I'm like, why are you saying that? Why would you ever say that? Say, I'm going to have a great round. And she laughs at me. I look at her and I say, this is going to be the hole in one. I need you to get your camera ready. I need you to have everything ready. Should I get a glass box to put the ball in, once I retrieve it out of the cup? See, so I even, work with my daughter on mindset stuff and I wasn't even thinking about business or anything like that. But boy, when I hear something like that, my antenna go up from friends, family, strangers, people in the grocery store. Boy, you're not even getting your car out of the garage at that point. So that's some thoughts. And I'm going to kick it over to Vicky. She's going to give you some real thoughts about this topic. So over to you, Vicky.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Tonight, I want to take just a few intentional minutes with you, whether you're brand new to marketing or you've been in this space for a while. Let's talk honestly about something most of us wrestle with at some point: fear, self-doubt, and the pressure to get it right when making business decisions. Some of you may be standing at a crossroad, thinking about investing in your business, a program, a mentorship, or even just your next tool. And the dots start to swirl. Can I afford this? What if it doesn't work? What if I don't work? Others of you have already invested. You've taken that brave step forward, but now things may not be moving as quickly as you'd hope, and you're silently wondering if it was the right choice. Wherever you are right now, I want to speak to you. For those still deciding, it's natural to hesitate. We're human. We're fear wasting money, time, or hope. But I want you to ask yourself, what if this is the step that unlocks my next breakthrough? Not just because of the product or system, but because of who you become through the process. You see, confidence rarely comes before the leap. It comes through it. You build self-belief by stepping forward, especially when you feel unsure. Don't wait to feel ready. Start, grow, adjust, keep going. For those struggling with self-doubt, if you're questioning your abilities or comparing yourself to others, you're not alone. Every leader you admire started with the same thoughts. Am I good enough? What if I can't do this? Here's what matters. You showed up, you're learning, you're willing, and that's the seed of transformation. Self-belief is like a muscle that grows with use. Start by keeping small promises to yourself. Surround yourself with your support and allow yourself the grace to grow messy and real. For those who've already invested but feel stuck, first take a moment and be proud of yourself. You took action, and that's the victory in itself. But if things feel slow or discouraging right now, I get it. So here's your reminder. The seed you planted isn't broken, it's still growing. The results might not be instant. Excuse me for just a second. Okay, I'm sorry. My granddaughter was beating on the door, making the dogs bark. Okay, the seed you planted isn't broken, it's still growing. The results might not be instant, but the roots are taking hold. Sometimes growth is invisible before it becomes obvious. Stay the course. Use your resources. Ask questions. Lean in. And know momentum builds quietly before it becomes unstoppable. Final thought, unlimited motivation. So tonight, whether you're deciding, doubting, or developing, I invite you to breathe deep and remember, you don't have to be fearless, just willing. You don't need all the answers, just your next step. And you don't have to rush, just keep moving. We're all on this journey together. Let's choose belief over doubt, growth over perfection, and forward motion over fear. And back over to you, Rob.
That is awesome stuff. Thank you very much, Vicky. Yep, round of applause for Vicky. Brings this kind of stuff week after week after week. with grace and with poise, handled that situation great with your granddaughter. That's a pro right there.
Yes.
It's a
The
pro.
title of the book for WSBS this week is number 24, Unlimited Motivation. It's under 2025 in your
Okay.
WSBS back office.
Here, let's take a look at that real quick. Yeah, let's go to screen share. Yeah, let's go to screen
It's a
share.
really powerful guide to help you reset, refocus, and re-energize, especially on the days when your belief wavers or progress feels slow.
Yeah. So it's right here, number 24. So unlimited motivation. It's a simple team is logging into your well step-by-step back office. First, you got to get there. First, you got to join in step 2 and get set up. But then after that, you're going to go to the more area under ebooks. And then you choose your 2025 ebook that Vicki just talked about, number 24, Unlimited Motivation. When you click on it, it's basically a download. So that material is yours forever. No matter what happens, there would be no way they could ever get taken away from you. So what I would do is honestly, I mean, download as many of these as you want. Who knows? Maybe someday your internet connection's down or whatever. You'll have the material. But I would say anybody who's got doubts, anybody who's not sure about whether they can make it in this business, don't judge the business. Trust me, you can do all the research in the world and find that what we have here is very solid and every single component of it is. So it's not us. You got to look in the mirror and say, why can't it be me today? Why can't I be the 29 take that $29 upgrade and enjoy these great products? Why can't it be me today who goes to step 3, does a mastery, gets the whole table set and has the ability to earn that kind of income? That's zip code changing income. And we can fiddle around, or we can go. It's go big or go home. Sometimes I don't want anybody to go home, so don't take that the wrong way. But I'm trying to motivate you, because this is how I motivate myself. And we can't be scared. We can't be hurt. Our feelings hurt every time we turn around. We gotta take the words of wisdom and run with them. So if you're a part of this and you're not taking advantage of this information and you're not where you want to be, it's only your fault. There's nobody else to blame. It's the proverbial I'm taking the horse to water and not drink. I'm taking myself to the water and refusing to drink. It's craziness, honestly. So I definitely want to show you that. I also want to show you step by step. I want to show you the other great product as to why it's here is the discounts. I want you to take advantage of consumer discounts. You can get them by email if you fill in your email address. And then you also can have them in your back office, whether it be travel, theme parks, hotels, rental cars, water parks, movie tickets. You can choose your city and see every offer in your city, shopping deals, and shows, sports, and concerts. I'd like to see an honest moment from everybody who's here. Who has actually taken a look and either seriously considered pulling the trigger on an offer or have already pulled the trigger on the offer? If you don't mind sharing and being honest, that would be great. I'd like to know. If not, shame on us if we're not doing that, because again, this is the value, this is the product, this is what it's about. And the commissions then are just gravy, and it's great gravy. It's the best tasting gravy that you'll ever find. And one of the things that's very, very important, I did want to stress this tonight, and very, very, very important. I want to log out because I want to share. We got log out. I want you to look at this pay plan, this matrix. We are in a team build. Okay. We are in a team build. What does that mean? That means that you come in and through the system, and any other way you can bring people forward into Well step by step, but through this, the system does it in a step by step process. The payouts are awesome, whether you refer the person or not. Spillover does happen a lot here. Every time somebody comes in, 7 people get paid. I brought in Carlin. And if you remember Carlin from last week, Carlin, congratulations to Carlin. Carlin upgraded to Well step by step and set up a meeting with me. And we talked about step 3 and the Genesis Legacy Vault Mastery level. So kudos to Carlin. Carlin's making that decision right now. But if you meet with me about it, I'm going to give you every little bit of information that I can, to help you make that decision. There may be things that sometimes it takes a little bit of extra talking to somebody to really have all the light bulbs go off, and you may have misinterpreted what you thought it was or what you were getting, and I can clarify for you. But anyway, um, this is a team build. So we don't just ask you to come in and do nothing through the system. That'll help you get three, but find a way to get three through hook or crook. Find a way to get three. Don't quit. Don't leave. This is a team build. We're all relying on each other to do this. If three get three, get three, get three, get three, we can experience numbers like not $9,915 a month, or $3,354 a month, or heck, I'd take $1,167 a month with 5 full levels. But it takes a bunch of people who don't quit, who figure out and find a way through the system and through any available option to get their three. It's our commitment to stay, not quit, and get three. Now, you'll get three if you follow our training. I guarantee you. But that's gonna take that thing we talked about, pushing through fear. But why are you here then? Would be the question that I would ask. Why are you here if you're so scared? And this is entrepreneurial business. This isn't scared. This is taking your shot, right? Throw the darn ball down the field. This is not the time for that. So, but I'm not trying to be an ebook here, but that's what the ebook's basically going to tell you. You got to go. You got to pick your, if this isn't the right thing for you, that's fine. You make that decision. I'm totally with you. I respect it, but this can do it for you. That I wouldn't be here as passionate if that wasn't the truth. This can do it for you. This, combined with the awesome one-time commissions that you can earn in step 3 as high as $2,000. But I do want to highlight, I think maybe sometimes we gloss over the fact that team build is very important part of this, to get a monthly residual on top of the great one-time commissions we're getting from the from the Genesis Legacy Vault in step 3. But if we just put our hands up and say, oh, we're not into spending any money, well, what the heck are we doing? What let's go back to business 101 and explain how it works, right? And you got to love the people that say, I want to come in for free, and then I'll bring in a bunch of people, and I'll be able to make money. Well, it's not all about you. It's about all of us making money. I think that's a little bit of a slap to the sponsor, that they don't deserve that. That's like saying, you who helped me and supported me deserve nothing. Give me, McDonald's, give me the Big Mac for $7.95 with fries and a large drink for free. And then I'll open up a McDonald's, and I'm going to charge everybody $7.85 or whatever it is for the meal. So there's a lot of education that we've got to do. It starts with us, to the people that we interact with, to really understand what this is all about and what it can do, not just for the moment, but for your future and the legacy, your legacy, which means your beneficiaries, your family can benefit and inherit this business generationally. So to me, this is a big deal, right? And it's not an internet shiny object, passing fancy fad. This is what I do for a living with my partners. And we are here to support you, lock arms with you 100%. We ain't going anywhere. We don't want you to go anywhere. You stick with us. You're going to be really happy, and you're going to be set. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I'm going to come back to Zoom and calm myself down. And I think we're going to hear from Jared. Now, I think Jared can tell you more about the Genesis Legacy Vault and why that's so critical, and why not. And he's going to tell you why you shouldn't be scared. If he's still here, Jared.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to go back to something I wrote on Facebook back on June 9th. Basically put a post out there. I think some of you probably saw it. The biggest obstacle that people will face when they first come online is changing your mindset from being an hourly employee to an entrepreneur. I mean, that's a huge roadblock for a lot of people, because they're so used to collecting that paycheck week after week after week. But the thing with being an online entrepreneur is you got to look at it as an investment, not as, oh my God, I'm gonna lose all this money. Am I gonna get it back? The fear of not being able to make your investment back. never look at it that way when you're going into a business for yourself. Look at it as you're investing in your future. So that's what I always try to tell people. One of the big products that we put in here, of course, is the Genesis Legacy Vault, like Rob said. The big commissions, this is where it comes in 2KPS. And Rob, maybe you could go into step 3.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yep, here we go. Oh, I put it down here now. Where did I put it? Here we go, right here. Step 3. There we
Yep.
are.
I see a lot of people come on board. They go through the start here video. They watch it. They join the Facebook group. They join the WoW app chat. They move on to step 1. They join TL2I. They go to step 2. A pretty good percentage joins WSBS. And then it seems like some get stuck because they're looking at that as as a potential huge roadblock of putting money into something, you know, that's going to give you a ton of value. I've repeated this many times on our webinars. We got over 400 hours, or is it 400 videos? 400 videos,
What a
okay?
video.
And tons of hours of training back there that you guys can use to grow any business online, but particularly to grow the 2KPS business. And of course, the place we recommend you guys going is Mastery. Why? Because you're going to earn on every package up to $2,000. Okay, that's life-changing money. Okay, you can come in at the $100 package, but if you go to the comp plan chart, Rob, underneath the video there, you're going to see that on that $100 package, okay, if you sell an advanced, elite, VIP, or mastery, you're not going to earn anything. Okay, you come in at mastery, you're going to earn on pro, you're going to earn on advanced, you're going to earn on every package, 100% commissions. Okay, so we always suggest mastery. Okay, if you can find a way to do it, do it. Okay, you can ask Christy, you can ask Vicky. Okay, those are some of our mastery members. You can ask Rob. Okay, those are life-changing commissions. Rob, there was another thing I wanted you to. Oh yeah, I was going to talk to you about the basically the financing that we can have. So if you come in, you go in to join a package. Let's say you go in to join Mastery. Some of our members will have it set up where you guys can pay over time. So some of those financing options you can get as low as I've seen $60 every month to pay your Mastery package. So that is an option. I think credit score is kind of a determining factor if you get that financing. But of course, there's other options out there for financing. There's a PayPal, what is it, Rob? 6 months?
6 months, no interest. Just a note about PayPal. If you have PayPal, you have to. The way I set mine up is I just have in my. You can literally put in your payment area. Just contact me. If you're interested in using PayPal, because if you send an invoice, then the person can use PayPal credit. So that has to be set up in that fashion. But 6 months, no interest. That's a good deal. And I buy a lot of things using PayPal credit, not just stuff on the internet.
Right. So that's just kind of some of the things I wanted to touch on. So the financing options, you get all the access to the products if you come in at Mastery. And then it's definitely a good decision, guys. Step 3 is going to be the vehicle that drives you to those bigger commissions. So the residual aspect was step 2. Rob's got it's not instant commissions, but you get paid once a month with his platform. And then of course with step 3 is your high ticket commissions, and then step 4 is a residual vehicle as well. When you refer people to Leads Leap, you'll also earn residual commissions. All right, back to you, Rob.
Okay, and one thing about there is actually a product at TL2I. It's called the MSF Mod. It is a high ticket lifetime upgrade, so that could earn. It depends on what ends up being the price that's paid, but you can earn $300-400 commissions from that product. So there is that example. There's a lot of ways to make money in the system. All you got to do is set up and advertise. it's good to know what they are, but you don't really have to worry about it until it's time for you to go, oh my God, where did I get this money from? This is awesome. So that's really an important thing. And then as for the financing, there's also some personal loans you can get over here. It says low on funds, click here. We offer these just as general recommendations. We don't make any commissions off of these. These aren't affiliate links, but upgrade.com and upstart.com, the good old fashioned business loan. But again, it's just how serious are you at success? And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings by saying that, but that's what it boils down to. Any coach worth their salt are going to say that. You got to make the commitment. It's going to change the way you think, honestly. So let me come back to the room here, and we'll take some questions here. And I definitely wanted to focus a little bit here on, where is Gene? Is Gene still here? Oh, there's Gene. So Gene, since you're relatively new, we just welcomed you into the WOW chat and things like that. Just let us know if you have any questions or anything from the presentation that jumped out at you that you just want to comment on, or you have a question on. We'd definitely like to hear from you tonight and see if we can help you with anything as well. It's a great opportunity to do that. You just have to unmute, Gene. Can you still hear us? Everything was working in rehearsal, I swear. You still there, Gene? Testing 1, 2, 3 for Gene. Okay, we may have to come back to Gene. Unless Gene's trying to unmute. Lower left-hand corner. Okay, we'll come back to Gene. But I definitely want to hear from Gene because that's what it's all about here, is the new people coming in. Who else did we have? I thought I saw somebody else. Maybe they left.
Derek Allwood, but I think he left.
He left. Do we know who that sponsor is, Jared? Maybe you can look that up at your convenience. You think it's Scott Darvid? So yeah. Yeah, we got to get Scott over here to one of these sessions. He's advertising now. He's on the leaderboard, doing a good job. All righty. So now it's open time for anybody want to jump in that has a question, comment, needs help, because there's a lot of different things that you may have a question about that we're here to help answer and support. Before I start calling on people. And I don't call on mastery people either, because I beat the heck out of them when we get to the master class. No, I'm kidding. They get some really great stuff. That's why they keep coming back. LD Murray, Lloyd, any questions, comments from you tonight? I'll start by picking on Lloyd. Well, Stacy can't get her camera to
not
work.
tonight,
Okay.
Rob. Thank you.
You good, Lloyd? Okay. That's okay, Stacy. If your camera's not working, that's fine. If you still can jump on if you want to say something or ask a question, you can ask it in chat as well. We totally are good with that too. Make no mistake about that. How about Daryl Cannon? What's up, Daryl?
How you doing, Rob?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about you?
Good.
Anything we can help you with, Daryl? Any burning questions? Any frustrations over the last week or so?
Not really. Just plugging out the ads, then trying to keep hold of these people. I don't know why they're not moving, but I keep sending out emails.
Mm-hmm.
And making up emails and giving them first steps and the next step, and I'm just dealing with it.
Okay. Yeah, I can.
But everything's going well, and if I got trouble, I just throw Randall a question or whatever. But I've got people in the back office that just got to get them motivated to do what they need to do.
Yeah, I'll give you a few thoughts about that. I think that's a great. There's many that are in this. Everybody, I think, is in the same boat. I don't think this isn't a Daryl situation. This is an everybody situation. Before I address that, let's take a quick look at the leaderboard. Kudos to Ray Anderson. He has 430 points. So divide that by 5. That'll tell you how many signups he's brought in to the 2K profit system. So he's like Tiger Woods back in 2000 at the U.S. Open. He's many strokes ahead of Randall, who's still doing great. Scott Darvid, Iman's a new guy that came in from Ray. Actually, Iman, we can draw an arrow. If I had an arrow drawer over from Iman to Ray, so Ray brought Iman in, and Christy brought Ray in. So we're seeing now, 2-3 level generations with this, which is really super cool. And then there's Susan, Linda, Edwal, Jared, Tom, and Christy. And I promise you'll see me on the leaderboard. Don't worry, it's still early. There's half the month to go, so don't panic, friends. I'm on it. Okay, so that's the leaderboard. But what I would say to you, Daryl, and everybody here, as we'll just use the leaderboard as a motivational backdrop here. So email's good. I know a lot of people that really work really hard at not just setting up their autoresponder, but hitting those one-on-ones. And in the 2K profit system, that's what you got to do to your leads who have not joined. That is absolutely appropriate. And all you're really trying to do is get them to do a free sign up. You don't have to sell them on anything other than it's free. So you can join for free. You can start. You can sign up. And that's what we want to do. We want to log. We want to so when you're looking at your team, your leads, your prospects, you got your leads over here, and then you got the really good ones that are the members of 2K Profit System. You can keep emailing your leads in any way and format that you want, but your goal with them is it's just about, come on. I'm not giving you the words of wisdom of the kingdom here until you join the 2K Profit System. So that's your focus on that. So now you got your team. So now you should be working with those people individually. Now I got something I'm going to be talking to the mastery folks about that I think hopefully they'll find exciting. I had a light bulb moment that I'm going to share with them at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So if you can upgrade the mastery in the next 26 minutes, I can share that with you as well. But anyway, so let's focus on the 2K profit system members. Those are people that you want to work with on a one-to-one basis. And let's get that text message going. Let's follow that up with a phone call. Let's get them into a Zoom. All of you are on Zoom. That means you have a Zoom account. That means you can use Zoom for your own coaching and your own running your business. And it's really as simple as that, is bringing these people forward. And wherever you're at, you want to take them there. So if you're in Wealth Step by Step, you got to get them there. If you're an advanced member, you want to get them there. You want them to do exactly what you're doing, clearly. And hopefully they don't skip over you and go to mastery. And then you're like, oh my God, how did that happen? Well, it can happen. But anyway, you just got to make sure and tell them, hey, this is where I want you to be. That's where the coaching comes into play, is you can control your playing board. You can control things if you're on top of your business and you're working with people on a one-to-one basis. So, so they're your you're their go-to person. That's the kind of feeling you want them to have about you. So it's kind of a cascading thing. And until you're going to have people, you're going to have your top people then that you talk to multiple times on a given day, whether it be via telephone, Zoom, wild chat, Facebook Messenger, whatever. But we can't live on email. Write this down. A marketer cannot live on email alone. The days of email marketing died. It just still continues on. And when I say that, I mean making a living off email marketing. Email is a tool that has a place. That is it. We have to go to where a lot of people, network marketing, I don't want to talk to people. Well, those people had it right 30, 40, 70 years ago, right? It always was about talking to people. And now AI comes in. It's the new fakery. Oh, you don't have to talk to people. Let some artificial robot, it'll learn about you. It'll talk like you, and it'll act. It ain't going to do nothing. It's going to do this. Diddly squat. 2 words for you. I'll say it again. Diddly squat. So it's still belly to belly. It's just using tools properly. And you can use AI probably properly. I choose not to. You can use tools properly for sure, but not the phony baloney way that people are trying to play that. So good old fashioned, Daryl, good old fashioned is getting as close to your people as you possibly can. And if they live next door to you, you should go over, with a warm slice of apple pie, offer them a little ice cream on top, sit down at the kitchen table and work through the 2K profit system with them. That's my answer to your great question, my friend. Thank you very much. Let me come back to the room and see what else we got. How about Dale? What's up, Dale? How can we help you today? Anything in particular we can assist you with?
The only thing I and I didn't do that today, shame on me, but Jared, I gotta get with you because PayPal did a nasty to me. So I have to refix my buttons. So I'll shoot you, I don't know, do you want me to shoot you an email or do you want me to send you a WoW chat about that? Or
yeah, Jared will get that fixed up for you, Dale.
Yeah, I know.
How do you want him to handle that, Jared?
I would say just log in to your system.
Okay.
Then in the left-hand column, there's that payment setup and bonus page.
Okay.
So just fill in that form.
Again, okay.
Yeah.
Because I have it on my site as one of the 3 ops that I'm promoting.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't want to, start sending emails out and promoting it until I get that payment button fixed. So
just fill that form out again and I'll adjust it. Takes me
okay. Okay,
takes me
no
2
problem.
minutes.
So I'll just add a different like a crypto instead of the PayPal, and you can add that for me.
Do you have Stripe?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I had some bad luck with making some bad decisions. So
if you're doing crypto, make sure you put a detailed description of what I need to write in there because I'm not familiar with crypto.
Okay. I definitely will do that.
Yeah. So I know if it's like a wallet or what we're doing there.
Yeah. No, I'll put a detailed description in there for you.
Okay.
And the other thing, I just wanted to, for everybody, and I agree with what you said, Robin. I'm gonna get with you because I need to get more belly to belly with people because for the last couple of years I've been relying on email, and way too much, and I'm starting to get a little frustrated. But one of the things that a couple of my mentors over the years have told me is, and I try to keep in mind, is that people are going to move when they're ready to move, not necessarily when you're ready to move. Now, some people you can, like you said, you got to drag them to success. And some people that works with, but some people it doesn't. And so it's a fine line I think you have to walk,
Sure.
in that, you can't be too overbearing with them, but at the same time, you can be persuasive. And I think you do a good job of that. You and I have had, many, many occasions to work together. And there were some times where, you kind of took me and dragged me over the finish line. Wasn't necessarily, too willing at first, but, so there are times where you can kind of, pull people along, but there are times where you also have to back off, and there's a fine line there. But I'll definitely get with you on that because I do need to get a little more belly to belly with people because, after 25 years, it's about time that I start seeing a little more fruits. Because it's not like I don't work.
Right.
I'm at my computer 20 hours a day, so. It's not like I don't work. It's just about working a little bit smarter.
Right.
And so that's all I got for tonight.
Okay.
Thanks,
That's
guys.
good stuff, Dale. Yeah, that's excellent. And yeah, we'll work on that belly to belly for sure. Because you got the skills. It's right there. This will be one of the easiest sessions I probably ever have to do with somebody because you're there. You got what it takes. And yeah, you don't want to. There's an emotional intelligence you have to have as a person talking to a person. You got to read the tea leaves. You got to know when to put it into this gear or back it down into that gear over here. And that's what Dale was talking about. Some people, that's a skill that you get with practice, knowing, and if you ever make a mistake and you maybe piss somebody off and maybe they're like, oh, you're too pushy, I'm moving on. You got to pick yourself up and dust yourself off. And that's the learnings that I've had those. I'm definitely a different marketer than I was, say, 5 or 10, maybe 15 years ago. Probably better, hopefully, maybe just more balanced and more calm and more, like Dale said, they'll go with, that's really good advice. They will ultimately go at their time. We're here to provide, we're not salespeople per se. We provide information. So when I do a session with somebody and talk about mastery, I basically just go over all the features and benefits and say, what do you think? And get their thoughts. And again, like Dale said, people will go sometimes immediately and they're ready to roll. There's some techniques that I know that can help with that. But there are times that nothing works and they're going to say, you know what, I will whatever decide when I'm ready. And we respect that as well. So very good stuff there. Let me come back. Oh, Stacy, I wanted to talk to Stacy here because she put a comment in here. Husband and I took a leap of faith and started our own business. Kudos. Way to go, Stacy. We got our LLC and we got our website and blog, and we are working on building our portfolio of products and services, obtaining leads and making sales. And I think we talked about this today. Everything can go within the 2K profit system. Everything that you do and everybody does here can be tucked in one way, shape, or form within the 2K profit system. And maybe sometimes it's a little more complicated than that, but I bet you I can figure it out. So that would be a case where book a session with me. Just go to robgearing.com, book a 30-minute. And, if you've got like, how do I put all these pieces together? That's what I do. I help with some of those complex setups and situations too. So, but kudos to you, Stacy. Keep up the good work. I know we talked about something else, so definitely give that some thought. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm committed to the cause of everybody's success here at the 2K Profit System, and with whatever business that you're doing, the 2K Profit System can take it to another level by helping you develop, it's curated leads, people who are ready to go that will take all your offers, pretty much, or many of your offers. Because we walk them down the road of, preparing them to do just that. All righty. I want to switch back to Gene. Can you hear us now, Gene? You may have stepped away for a second. Just wanted to make sure you're okay. Can you hear us? Just got to unmute your microphone. Or if you want to type something into the chat, hit the chat button at the bottom of your screen and type us a message. Okay, going once, going twice. Okay, so Gene must have to step away because, we even had a message here. Hello from New Jersey. Okay, so Jared, I know you'll follow up with Gene and take them to the next step here. Okay. All righty. So what else do we have here? We talked to everybody, I think, except Adwal. So let's finish up with Adwal. What do you got tonight, Adwal?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Not much really. I'll just piggyback on what Jared said, because it put me back. A few weeks ago, I was talking to someone about the business, and I was talking to him about marketing, and she was adamant that for her to do it, she would need to be paid to market the business. And I said, well, it's your business, so why would someone else pay you to market your own business? And she was adamant that she needs to get paid. So it was really about the mindset. I realized, so I just leave her alone. I told her that if she's ready to talk, then I'm here. But at this point, it's her choice.
Yeah, entrepreneurs create income. They're not handed income. If you want to be handed income, you go to the employer, you fill out the job application, and you do your I-9, and you start on Monday. Then you get a paycheck on Friday, and you hate every second of it. So that's probably what she's looking for. She's not ready to be an entrepreneur, and that's okay. But you're very good at the wall, and you're very nice. I'm sure that over time she'll maybe keep an eye on your emails or various things that come out, and when she's ready, she steps forward, and I know you'll take good care of her. So that's the way we kind of got to think. You can only go so far with people, but I would take time with people just to explain to them what this is. I think we owe it to our leads to explain to them what it is. This is what when you fill out these forms, somebody is on the other end who's an entrepreneur that wants to help you do the same. And this is what an entrepreneur is. And just you describe it to them. And there is investment required if you want to be an entrepreneur in life. And maybe with that mindset, I go save some money, put it aside in a business account, and then I come back. And that would be totally okay. I tell people that. I say, save up $150, $250, $500 into your piggy bank, and then let's talk. Let's rock and roll. Let's make something happen. Because if they don't have money now, they can't do it. But they can certainly save. They can sell things that junk in their garage, that's somebody else's treasure. I will tell you, I made $12 or $1,500 selling stuff that I didn't need anymore. Like I didn't need a gas dryer because I didn't have a gas hookup for a dryer. So I got $250 for it. Many people have things like that in their homes, their garages, their basements. That could be the link to give them the money in the financing. And the other thing that people do sometimes is they sell on eBay. They buy, and it's the whole buy and sell. You buy it for this much money and you mark it up 25% or 30% or whatever. And I've seen people raise money that way. And then we talked about the other things. The business loan is something that people can do, but you got to do something. You can't just stand there, raise your arms to the heaven and hope that it's going to rain down on you, because it's not. You're going to, in life, you got to do something to put yourself in a position to then make the next series of moves. So, all right, good stuff, Adwal. I appreciate you, man. And congratulations on all your success, including your leaderboard position. And you're always on there, so you're consistent. So kudos. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
All righty. Let's see. I think I got everybody, but I don't want to miss anybody. I'm going to do one more check across the board. And Masteries, don't worry. You're going to get your day, unless you want to chime in. I'm going to leave this now for final thoughts before we take our break, before we move into the Mastery session at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Anything from anybody? Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll stop the live stream. Live stream is stopped, so there's still a final chance to say something before I stop the recording. Okay, so we're going to stop the recording. And anybody watching the recording, to your massive success, thank you very much.